First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Caught by Gates, left side. A big play there on the catch and run. 71 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Underneath, this is Bernard. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
This opening drive has taken them to the 2, but now they come up on a 3rd and goal.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
They're going to look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll look to throw here. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. In for the score. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive.
The losing streak had taken on a life of its own, and I think it infiltrates a team when you're on that much of a slide. But this group has managed to focus, come out early, and put a touchdown on the board. They look like they mean business in this one.
They do. Now the key, holding on to that attitude, because, man, that streak has been a struggle for them. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. It's Xavier Rhodes there in on the stop. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
319!
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Now they go with a slant that time, 15 yards and a first down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Go to 50. Hey. Keep it up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
319.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. He finds Roberts complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long.
319.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. And out now come the Vikings. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He drops it off for Bernard. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Now a shotgun snap as they look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Lucky 56. Set. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll drop the throw. Flushed out right. Right side catch. This is Gates. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
319.
On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now Gordon on 1st down. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down. 4 down. Let's go. Come on. Hey, where y'all going?
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. Dancing to his left. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Thielen with his first catch, and it's a 1st down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
Here's Rodgers, flush to his right. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10.
Right now, you got 58.
They'll run it now out of the guns. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Zoom. Jump out! Zoom.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. That's complete right around the 8. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Hey, Lex. Yeah, Liz.
Now Rodgers. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
So on 4th down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. is on the money. It's good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. 20, 10, and he takes it all the way, but there is laundry on the field. A flag is down, and I think this one's coming back.
I agree.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. Here's Bernard. Fighting him off. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. To throw now on 2nd and 10. And the grab by Croft. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down.
Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
Yeah, they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That's complete to Taywan Taylor. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 19 yards to pick up there.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. to throw now on first down. Throwing for his running back. He's got him complete. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and that'll bring up second down. Two minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. Now a carry for Bernard. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Now a handoff looking right. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The tackle credited to Jamal Agnew.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone.
What a spin. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. So out now come the Lions. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Rodgers now on first down. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And a pretty nifty hurdle there before he's brought down. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Rodgers to throw on second down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 48. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or 2 and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Detroit! Detroit!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Well, the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Well, the pressure gets to him again. Sean Robinson. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Eluding the pressure right. Going underneath for Gordon. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
319.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Open man is Kirk, complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9. They do go for it. It's Rodgers. And it is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They'll run it here with their arm. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Detroit! Gun!
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Right. Green 18.
They'll try and get the ground game going. Here's Gordon. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Green 18.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. Finds Roberts left side. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Throwing is Rodgers. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Green 18.
They're going to try and throw. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Back to the Philly. Here we go.
Now Bernard. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. They'll set up a throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was a high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily The coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Jumbo! 318!
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Throw left side on target to Thielen. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talking about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Hey, we are going.
They begin the drive with Charles. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down.
And that's why defense coordinators always preach 11 guys to the ball. Because sometimes you have a missed tackle, but if you have a swarm of guys around, less room for them to roam even after the first missed tackle. In this case, tackle was missed, plenty of open field to get after that.
Here we go. 58. Strip that ball. No. 58.
They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Go to 50. Hey, you block over here.
They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Rodgers. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it here. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They've been burned twice already on 4th down, but the 3rd time's the charm as they keep the drive moving. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Roberts got it. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now at Ford Field. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Hey, check 26.
Rodgers again now. And Davis has it over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Maximum effort, partner. Minimal gain.
Yeah, minimal gain. Looked good, though. The Lions on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. And again, it's Rodgers. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. A nice pickup on first down, 7 yards.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Right side catch. This is Gates. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. With that catch, he goes over 100 yards receiving on the night. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Gates has it over the middle. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90! Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
They'll look to throw. And he's able to find Diggs. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Facing a 4th down, they come away with 18 yards and the first down conversion. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. And they'll run it here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now it looks like he'll throw here. Space to run past the 20. He's got his man on the crossing route. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. He'll drop to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
2nd and goal from the 1. He's going to get it running right. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Now the extra point try forthcoming. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see...
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, but I believe the line was there to recover it. Yes, they will indeed keep possession. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second and a country mile. Now it's Rodgers. Now a desperation throw into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And that will write a finish to this ball game. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one